My alarm was set for 6:30 a.m., something like that. It might have been 6:32 because I do weird things with numbers. I don't even know if my eyes were fully open yet or not. I was still in that place between sleep and awake, deciding whether or not I was gonna snooze another 5 minutes. And in that moment, I just knew. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a dream, it was just a knowing and like this download of information. You're going to be a financial coach, and this is what you're going to do next. And by Monday, I had my first paying client. February 14th, 2025 was Valentine's Day. It was a Friday. And the Holy Spirit began showing me things, not a vision with images and color, more like a download. That's just what it felt like. It was just like, you've ever watched The Matrix? Like you plugged in, it was like all of that information. And it just was clearer and clearer and just streams of knowing throughout the day. It just kept coming. And I kept being open to receiving more and more of it, right? And he showed me that I love talking about money. I was like, that's right, I do. And that watching someone get a grip on their finances and start building something financially worthwhile, valuable, like lights me up. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And he showed me that I had already been doing this for years with family and friends. I was already a financial coach. I just hadn't named it, and I definitely wasn't charging for it. And then he showed me how it would work. He didn't show me a year's, projection, like this is what it's going to look like in a year. I didn't hear a voice that says, quit your job and you're going to be, you're going to make $1 million a year. I didn't hear anything like that whatsoever. Um, he simply showed me the next few steps, what to do next. And it gave me enough courage to know that it was him. I know what it sounds like when he speaks to me. And so I moved. And when I moved, it was just like the next level of water parted and I could step further and then like more parted. And it was just the more steps I took, the more things open. It was just awesome. Um, he showed me also like who to reach out to first. He showed me how I would manage this side job along with my full-time job, along with my single parenting. And he showed me that I could do all of it without losing my peace. I'm not a person of anxiety. I don't do anxiety. I I don't know, I'm just built a little different. I don't get anxious when I have a full plate. But from 6:30 that morning until midnight when I went to bed, the Holy Spirit just kept adding more and more stuff, more clarity. I should say less foggy. It wasn't exactly fully clear. It was just less foggy, more direction, more confirmation. And here's the part where I have to be completely honest, right? Even in the middle of all of that clarity, I still have this plan in my head that what God is showing me is going to be like in 3 years, right? Okay, God, like this is amazing, but like I'm making really good money at this job, what I refer to as good money. Um, Labeling money, which I no longer do, but I'm making this much money at this job. So everything that you're telling me is for like 3 years from now, after my son is in college and all is well, and hopefully the house is paid off, etc. Um, 2028. That was my transition year. That's what I was thinking. 2028. I thought I was being wise. What I did not know was that 2028 was not God's timeline. Yeah, like I said, he was making things less foggy, but it wasn't exactly crystal clear. After my corporate job, every evening, I was literally at my desk working um, 5 in the afternoon till sometimes 2 in the morning. And one of the financial advisors I had interviewed, a man named Ike, gifted me a training program that he had purchased but never used. I went through that training program. It might have taken me a week, maybe two. but I did every assessment, watched every video, worked through every checklist. Okay. And that same Friday, the same Friday that the Holy Spirit like did the whole matrix download in my brain, he also gave me the name of the business, Hand in Hand Consulting. I have a Holy Spirit who has walked with me hand in hand through everything, the ups and downs of life, literally everything. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do with my clients. Someone to hold their hand. That's me. I hold your hand through whatever the financial season is that you find yourself in. And it's not forever. I'm not the Holy Spirit. It's not forever, but it is like a parent kind of holding on to the bike as the training wheels are coming off. It is intended for a season so that you can feel confident balancing and riding on your own. At some point, I let go and you keep soaring. My two previous businesses taught me what not to do. I did not spend thousands of dollars on branding and logos and business cards or hiring somebody to manage my social media. Um, I didn't do any of that stuff. I had done that stuff before and it didn't work out. I mean, it was other people getting paid and did not work out. This time I moved really lean, did everything by myself. God said, you already know what does not work, so don't do it. And I listened. And sometimes the stuff that you consider to be a failure, failed relationships, failed businesses, they're not failures at all. They're just experiments. And what you paid, the lessons you learned were just tuition. You know, like I could tell you I got college education on things not to do in business. One last thing. I want you to know why I can do what I do as a financial coach. And that's because I was my very first client. I coached myself out of debt. I took knowledge and resources that was provided by somebody else in the form of videos and books, and I ate it up and I was able to apply it to my life and coach myself through it. And I realized that other people have access to the same knowledge library of information, but they do not know or do not have confidence in themselves to apply it to their own personal situation. And that is what I help people do because that's what I did for myself. The stuff that I found to be extremely easy for me, I realize is not so easy for other people. No judgment whatsoever. Somebody creating content, you think that that's really easy? Like social media is really easy. It's not so easy for other people. So there's a need. That's how we serve each other. Um, so I started helping people around me for free. I was doing that for years before. And when I sit across from a client, I'm not reading from a textbook telling them, oh, let's see what so and so said. I'm sharing with them from experience, but now it's not just from my experience. Now I have the experiences of a lot of other clients and what they've gone through, different scenarios, single, married, parent, children, no children, grown children, divorced, widowed, just a gamut of with a business, without a business. I've been able to help a good array of people with their finances and helping them believe that they could manage and steward their finances well. So from Friday to Monday, I had my first paying client. 3 days from the moment I heard the Holy Spirit say, go, He provided. People said yes. All right, now it's your turn. Think about the thing you already do for free, the thing people come to you for naturally because you're so good at it. It's so easy for you. The thing you give away without even thinking. Write it down because that thing, there's a very good chance that that thing is what you're supposed to be doing for a living, or as I would say, for a serving other people. And they say thank you with cash. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell you the moment I realized I was not supposed to be a financial advisor at all and what that difference actually means.